Well, we want to welcome everyone back to Track is Our Field, Cross Country Edition, podcast number 4 for this fall. We're glad to be back after a little break. First, we'd just like to start out by thanking our sponsors, Tommy Howard, financial advisor for Edward Jones in Little Rock, Arkansas. He's on Cantrell Road. His number is 501-224-7699. We want to thank Tommy for all of his support.
Yep, we got Steve Qualls at Design Lab. Phone number 501-767-0066. And its website is designlablra@gmail.com. That's designlablra@gmail.com. Appreciate everything he does for us. Get all your apparel, all kinds of stuff there at Design Lab.
I'd also like to thank the Arkansas Track Coaches Association for sponsoring us and helping us get our equipment to do these podcasts. And their website's also available at
arcoaches.com.
arcoaches.com.
I'm sorry, artrackcoaches.com is that website. You find all kinds of neat information there.
Well, we are in cross-country season, but they had one event in New York in early October, and I'll probably butcher the name since it's a Greek word. Athlos, A-T-H-L-O-S, for all of you Greek studies there, which that word they say means, in Greek, means athlete.
Athletics, or athlete.
And this was held in New York, and didn't hear much about it, saw it on Facebook, saw the women's long jump on Times Square.
Yeah,
and had a crowd around there, and it was awesome to sit there and watch them go through their jumps.
Yeah.
And again, the Olympic gold medalist stepped up in her last jump to win it. She just brings it at the end. Tara Davis Woodhall, she goes in the prelim. She went 22.4 her final jump. Let me get over to that real quick. Best jump was 23 feet 4 inches.
Pretty awesome.
Second place came in Jasmine Moore, and she went 21.9, so she won it by 2 feet almost.
Pretty big margin there.
To me, that's the way we've got to get track and field in front of people. The thing I hated, it wasn't really published, that you didn't even know it was on, and find it out on Facebook that this happened.
Yep.
That they had a meet at a stadium up there. Also, it was women's. They did like the 100, 200, 400, 800, 1500. But they brought in athletes from all over the nation and had a meet. And I think the winners, you made $60,000. That's a pretty good paycheck for
it. Is pretty good especially for a meet that nobody's even heard of.
Right. But
kind of a postseason meet.
And I think Woodall, she's really pushing for stuff like this. I mean, you watch her and she talks, gets the crowd involved, and we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But she brought that energy to Times Square, just watching that, and her excitement and the crowd getting them into it. We need more stuff. I mean, Maury Sanders tried that here in Hot Springs with the vault in the summer.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work to put that runway down and put the pit, stay there all night long to make sure nobody messed with it and all those
Sure
types.
did.
But people that never know track and field stopped going, what in the world's going on here?
Oh, yeah.
And watch the pole vault happen. And I just think those are things that we've got to do for track and field, is to get it out in front of people.
Yeah, and Maury, of course, he stopped doing that because it was just too much hassle. When he built his indoor facility, it was just much easier to just do it there in Black Springs, Arkansas. But it was nice having it here in town.
Well, and again, to get that out in front of people and to do that, to showcase what's going on. And I know, you're asking one guy to put that on here, and he did, but you wish that would happen. I know that over the years there's been stuff happen in malls, which malls are probably no longer, that they would do the vault and stuff like that in a mall.
Yeah.
But to get interest and excitement about track and field, and I think that company for doing that, if I can get back here on the website for that meet, 100-meter dash, Brittany Brown from the USA won it and ran 10.99. That's rolling pretty good. Yeah. I know the weather was kind of rainy and yucky during that time. Women's 200, also Brittany Brown won that with a meet record and a personal best of 21.89 in the 200. Women's 400, I'm going to let you try that from the Dominican Republic, see if you can say that name in the women's 400.
Marilady Polino. Polino, I just didn't ever think about her. I hear of her all the time, but don't think about her first name. I think they probably call her something short. Yeah, 50.07. Yeah.
You know, again, it's from.
And she won the world championships as well.
Correct. In the 800 women's, Keely Hopkinson of Great Britain
Yep.
went 156.53. That's rolling. That's good stuff. Second place, young lady went 158. Third place, 158. Fourth place, 159. So that was a really great race right there. Women's 1 mile, they called it, from Kenya, Faith Kipsigon.
Kip Yagan. Yeah,
Kip
she's
Yagan.
one that holds the world record in the mile.
It's-
Yeah, they had the best in the world there.
Yeah, she ran 4:17.78. You know, and again, weather wasn't perfect. And then Marcel Russell, USA, 12:52 in the 100-meter hurdles. Second place with the Grace Starks of the U.S., she went 12:06. And Ashley Johnson of the U.S., third, went 12:66. So that was we didn't see it because we didn't know it was on.
Right.
But watch that. And that was
I just saw it on Facebook.
But
Yeah.
that's what they have posted as the results.
Yeah.
Small meet, New York City, got everybody's attention by bringing the long jump to Times Square. Told people, hey, come out to the stadium. We're going to have this meet starting tomorrow. Come out and watch. And but I think that's things we've got to do. Whether it's high school or what, we've got to do something to grow attention to the sport.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good start. If we could just pick that up, and I don't know high school wise how we can do that. You know,
I think one thing we can do in high school at our championship meets particularly is I think we need to do a better job of letting people know what's going on. It's just people in the stands looking, we're starting a race, boom. Okay, who's running? Who's the favorite? I think we need to do a better job introducing the meet, introducing the what's coming up.
Yeah, and what the records are.
Yeah.
And those type things and talk
Yeah,
about
the
it.
record's so-and-so, and this person's already run right near the record or better than the record. And now people know what's going on, what to look for.
And they do that, in the NCAA, when I go to Arkansas or Kansas State or wherever I go to officiate, those guys that are announcers, they have a portfolio full, and they know every person, everything they've done. If they were the SWAC champion from 2024, 2023, this is what they did. They announce all those stuff so people know, that what that kid has done or that athlete has done.
Right.
And that would be a great thing. But again, it's called, got to work at it to make that happen.
It might take a little bit more time in between races, but it's not just dead time. People are hearing stuff, what's going on. They're getting introduced. When we watch the ones on television that are very well covered, the Olympics, the World Championships, they're introducing these people and telling them what they've done. So everybody, okay, now we know what to look for. And I think we can do, that's one thing we can do a better job.
Well, again, the announcers, why they're getting the starter, they're setting their blocks. The starters are talking to them, giving them instruction. That could be every time, every heat, talk about that person.
Yeah.
And by the time they're set and they've done the runouts, they've announced all 8 kids.
Yeah.
And ready to go. So I like that idea. Well, that's our track and field moment as we move on.
In our little opinions, everybody's got their opinions, and Don and Carl's got theirs.
Hey, but we're behind the mic, so we can say what we want
Yeah.
this time. Carl, going into cross country, we've had a few meets since the last time we talked. I know we were going to try to cover the big meet there at Oaklawn, and we had some technical difficulties and didn't get the really chance to talk to any athletes, but just kind of share a little bit what's going on in cross country, Carl.
Yes, sir. Well, we've had some good meets. We've had the Lick Hampton meet, since you mentioned it. The individual winner was Caleb McFarland of Maumelle Charter. He won over at Lakeside. He may be undefeated this year. Don't know if he ran chili pepper or not. Finished first out of 290 athletes with a time of 16:06. And it was a little warm that day. Cabot won the individual title with 89. Catholic was 91. Fort Smith Southside 99 out of 25 full teams, not to mention the other partial teams. Senior girls, we had a dead heat. And I believe the final winner actually, they awarded it to Nora Wise of Heritage, but in actuality, the winner actually was Flannery O'Daniel of Bentonville. Ran 18:46. It was a dead heat. It was close. Bentonville won the meet, going away with 23 points. Cabot was 68 with 12 full teams. They that was the Lake Hamilton Invitational. Junior high meets, a bunch of those kids ran as well. I don't have all those results. We'll move on to Van Buren. That was run this weekend. Not sure how much they got interrupted with the weather, but the senior boys winner was Alan Gallardo Lopez, our defending state overall champion in the cross country from last season. He ran 15:36.83. Fayetteville won the team title with 23 points. Bentonville West was 97. Fort Smith Southside was 110. There were 15 teams. Senior girls, Emma Fawkes of Vilonia, sophomore, ran 19 flat .07. The team winner was Fayetteville with 34, Greenwood 84. Fayetteville 34, Greenwood 84, Bentonville West 129. Although I don't have all the results now, El Dorado had their meet this past weekend. Successful South Arkansas meet. El Dorado was dominant there. I think the only one was Genoa Central, one of those junior girls, which they're pretty awesome Class AAA school. Upcoming meets, we've got, there's a whole bunch of them. We got one today, 3A, a lot of conference meets going on. 3A 1 district is today. Buck Fever in Mena is tomorrow. The equipment meets, having one tomorrow. Also, River Valley Junior Champions in Vilonia is tomorrow. The Blazer Invitational in Jonesboro is tomorrow. Then on Thursday, you got 3A 6 conference, 4A 5 conference. You got the 1A regional, and you've got the 3A regional at Genoa Central, 3A Region 7 at Genoa Central. And the GAC conference college meet is going to be at UAM this Saturday.
And that is their conference championship meet
at conference
Monticello, Arkansas this weekend. So.
Yep. Probably the first time Monticello's hosted a conference meet in a long time. Along with that, apparently they're having the Southeast Arkansas High School meet on that same day. Not sure what the time schedule. Next week on, I believe it's Monday, is 3A5 at Jesseville. And in the also 4A West at Clarksville, 4A1 conference in Springdale, 7 4A conference in Arkadelphia. Those are all between now and next Tuesday. So a lot of meets going on.
I know I'm jumping around on you, Carl, but just looking at mile split since the last time we were here, and I'm just going to throw out, starting with the Chili Pepper Festival. I mean, we had that in Fayetteville. Then you had the Cabin Creek Run in Lamar. That would be fun. The Danny Westbrook in Bryant. You had the Caveman Open in Cave City. The Greenwood Thrill of the Hill in Greenwood. Tiger Invitational in Arkadelphia. The Hornets Invitational in Rogers. The Vilonia Invitational, of course, in Vilonia. The U of O Invitational in Clarksville. The Springdale School Invitational. The Pottsville Apache Invitational. The Lake Hamilton meet you mentioned. The Golden Eagle Invitation in Siloam Springs, the Indian Trail Race in Caddo Hills, the Clarksville Panthers Invitational. They had the 1A, 2A district meet. They've had the Tri-County Invitational in Waldron, the Salem Invitational in Salem, the Golden Eagle Invitational in Paragould, the Ball Knob Invitational, the Prairie Grove, the Gravette, the Mount Sac Invitational, which is out in California, the Van Buren Classic, the VAX Cross Country, which was in Virginia. Got some Fort Worth Invitational, but and then the El Dorado one was, as we've talked about back in the day when we coached a long time ago, we were looking for meets.
Yeah. And
it's just awesome to see all the meets that have happened in Arkansas that are going on, and we see that growth. That what's happening in cross country, and again, as we keep beating that horse to death, track and field and cross country is not dead in Arkansas. And you can see these meets are all over the state. They're not just in Northwest Arkansas; they're all over the state.
Exactly, and there's, like I said, there's schools hosting meets that 10 years ago didn't even have a cross country team. So they're stepping up. Schools are deciding it's a great thing for athletes to be involved in, and that's what's going on. Rankings. I want to give you some rankings real quick. Just overall rankings. I'll give you the top 5 boys and top 5 girls based on time this year. Now, if you'll notice, all 5 of the top 5 boys were run at the same site. So that could be explained by one of 2 ways. One, it may be a fast course. I think it is. But it's also where all the great ones came together to run. So that also could be attributed to these fast times. Jackson Free of Mountain Home was run 14:44. All of these were chili pepper races. Brian Burns of Bentonville, 4:59.60. Brian ran 4:04 in a mile, converts to a 4:02 and change last year as a junior. So he could be a sub 4-minute miler coming up. Alan Gallardo Lopez, defending champion in the cross country, 15:01.50. Garrett Barr of Mountain Home, 15:14.50. And Bryce Allen of Shiloh Christian, 15:15.50.
All right, got a little music in the background
Turn
there.
that phone down. All right, and the girls, they're a little bit mixed up. We have, well, most of them are chili pepper, but this first one, Lily Bashirs of Rogers, 16:47.70. She ran that at South Lake Carroll. And number 2 is Gabby Bishop of Providence, 16:58. Her little sister is 3rd, Maggie Bishop of Providence, 17:17.20. And number 4 is Lily's younger sister, Hattie Ray Bashirs of Harbor. She goes to Harbor, 17:33.40. And number 5, we mentioned Flannery O'Daniel of Bentonville, who won at Lake Hampton. She ran 17:35.50. That's your top 5 girls. Those are pretty good times. Girls, you go back 10 years ago, you didn't see people running in the 17s much less than the 16s. Donnie, you want me to give you some rankings now?
Well, I'd like to go back, Carl. I'm sorry, I was sitting here
That's all right.
trying to go back to the chili pepper results and looking at the boys. I'm just, you had schools from Oklahoma and Texas and places across this region that were there. Lee Summit West, Lincoln College Prep, Southmore High School, Blue Springs.
It's Oklahoma, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. Year after
teams.
year, you got Texas. I remember one year they had Saratoga out of New York. We've had them coast to coast to come to the chili pepper meet. And a lot of it, I think, is back University of Arkansas tried to bring kids in that they're recruiting, and they get those kids in there. But the chili pepper's known region nationwide to being one of the top cross-country meets in the country.
And for our kids, Arkansas kids, to win it in those meets,
yeah.
that speaks volumes about Arkansas cross country, where we're at as a state, and the type kids we have, and the type coaches that are working with these kids, and the success we're seeing due to that. And again, I think too, part of it, we've got meets where they can go and run at meets.
Yeah.
Whether you want to run every week, which we know we don't, but you've got places to go and kids to do and things to look forward to. That's, again, years ago of why I started indoor track and field in Arkansas, was to have kids after cross country. We sit there and didn't do nothing until March. This gives them something to train for, even though we're going to be more limited now with being able to get into the university, the dates and so forth, not being able to get in there like we used to. But it gives the kids a chance to train and look forward to something.
Right.
Coach Bobby Richardson back in the day, he had put some tires on the infield of the football because it was Harding University where we used to run in there.
Oh, yeah.
And he would
Practice run that 11 lap per mile track.
Yeah, he would have those kids there. Us pole vaulters, we just went down there on the runway. But, those distance runners and that, he had them working that, feeling how that tight that would be.
Yeah.
But they were, we had something, when we were down there vaulting, we're like, man, we got to get ready in 2 weeks. We're fixing to vault.
Yeah.
Instead of in 3 months, we're fixing to vault. That just energized us to do that from when the season of cross country was over, or for me, football was over. It gave us something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And expanding that our teams are traveling. They're going into Missouri, they're going to Kansas, they're going into Oklahoma, and having indoor meets.
Yeah.
Our kids, our coaches are taking our kids out and to get them exposed nationally, locally, but they're training, they're getting ready. As Bobby Richardson always used to say, if you're not in shape in March, you might as well forget it.
About right, yeah.
You've had to be in shape. Now track is even
But that's
shorter.
base training.
The season is even shorter now.
Yeah.
That you trained and that was always, he said, if you don't have yourself ready in March, it's going to be a long haul to get there.
Yeah.
But it's just exciting to see where we are and how that carries over to indoor, then out to outdoor. I think that's part of it too, is just kids can see that I've got this in January, this in February, and then outdoor season starting, and boom, 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 and I think it helps us a lot. I really do.
It does. Well, and if you hadn't been to an indoor meet at the University of Arkansas, you don't know what you're missing. I heard somebody say something, it wasn't a big deal. They haven't been to it.
They have not.
Now, you wouldn't say that. And those people in the North Arkansas got a chance to go to Pitt State in Kansas, Missouri Southern in Joplin, Missouri. That's not very far for them to go. They got opportunities for indoor track. That's why Central Arkansas needs an indoor track. I'm hoping that somehow we can find an investor that's willing to put in an all-purpose facility or something that includes a track.
Well,
that's what we need.
And that's the thing. You can, during off season, you can change it into basketball, set it up for basketball, volleyball, pickleball. If we could find somebody, some bank or something that wants to help the youth of Arkansas, here's a great thing that they could do. And we know, we've seen it. For track season, we could start mid-December and end mid-March. Every weekend, some during the week. They don't understand the amount of kids that would come and the amount of money that it could bring to the city that would want to do this. I mean, it's just, but whenever I win that $1 billion lottery, when I put my $3, I don't do it till it gets $1 billion. Put my $3 in, I'm going to build one.
Somebody's going to win.
That's it. Yes. Well, I got off the path there, Carl.
That's all right. That's good stuff.
Your rankings.
Rankings, 6A boys ranking. Right now, again, I want to emphasize to you that courses vary much, and this is based on virtual meet, based on times of that they run on a course somewhere. So we know that some courses run a little fast, so take it all with a grain of salt. But it's kind of fun to look at. 6A boys, I don't think it's any secret, number one ranked Bentonville, a virtual meet, they'd have 25 points to Fayetteville 77 and Bentonville West 106. Girls, it's a hot one there. Rogers 33, Bentonville 39, Bentonville West 106. So everybody seems to feel that it's going to be a close race there between Rogers and Bentonville. 5A boys, it's Mountain Home, virtual meet 31, Solomon Springs 115, Lakeside 139. In 5A girls, it's Mountain Home 62, Greenwood 97, Russellville 100. Close there. It looks like Greenwood a little bit of a stretch, although they've been beat by some other schools this year in certain meets. They may not have had all their 5, or maybe their 5 ran on a fast course.
True.
It'll be interesting to find out on those dates. 4A, Shiloh Christian is a favorite there with 52, Pottsville 83, Gravett 87. 4A girls, Episcopal 81, Shiloh Christian 132, Gravett 143. That's the virtual. On the 3A girls, 3A boys, it's Providence, the favorite, with 39, Maumelle Charter 72, Jesseville with 90. And the ladies, let's see what, bear with me a moment. I got to get online here to get this. For 3A girls, yeah, I think there's no doubt the 5 out of the top 6 runners are Providence Academy. So that's 17 and 102 for Genoa Central and Haas Hall for 109. Let's see if we can get 2A real quick. 2A girls.
Well, Carl, as you look at that, it's still this with this mile split and that where they can now kind of look at point totals.
Yeah.
That people can see that. But again, what are you going to do on that day of the meet?
Absolutely.
This course, did it rain the night before? Is it a hot day? Is it a windy day? I slipped, I fell, I did. Those things affect that, but it's fun to be able to sit here and look at the scores and go, how close is this going to be coming?
We'll find out those girls and guys that ran on that fast course and find out if you can really do it.
Yep.
On the state meet course, which is a little more challenging than a lot of courses. Probably not the toughest course in the state, but it's certainly not the fastest because of the rolling hills there. Quitman girls are the favorite in 2A. Ozark Catholic is second. Danville is third. And Cattle Hills fourth. Cattle Hills is back. On the boys for 2A, we got, hang on just a moment. The favorites there are, Ozark Catholic's got the top 2 individuals. Ozark Catholic is the favorite there. Virtual meet with 21, Mountainburg 85, and Kettle Hills 93. Last but not least is the Class A. I'll come up with a minute. I'll give you the days for the state meets. You know, that's on the 6th
Thursday,
and the
Friday.
7th, Thursday, Friday. Who's running when? But right now, the boys' Class A favorites are Rural Special and Kingston tied at 43. So it looks like a toss-up. Western Yale at 98. And now the last one to give you today are the 1A girls. And they are, it's a pretty tight one. Well, not as tight. It's Kingston with 32, Hermitage, South Arkansas with 83, Rural Special 96. That's your rankings now, top three for each class.
Well, the state held at Oaklawn Thursday, November the 6th. They bumped the times back a little due to the horses' training.
Yep.
They're going to open the gates at 9:15 a.m. on both days. The 2A girls will go at 10:30. Coaches' meetings will be at 10. For the 2A boys will run at 11:15. There'll be a little break. The 3A girls will start at 12:30. Coaches' meetings for you coaches is 12 o'clock. 3A boys will run at 1:15. There'll be a little break, and then the 4A girls will go at 2:30, and their coaches' meetings at 2 o'clock, and the 4A boys go at 3:15. That'll be the end of day one.
Yep.
Day two, again, starting at 10:30, will be 5A girls with coaches' meeting at 10. 5A boys at 11:15 with a little break. At 12:30, the 6A girls, coaches' meetings at noon, and the 6A boys go at 1:15. We'll have a little break again, and then the 1A girls go at 2:30, and the 1A boys go at 3:15, and their coaches' meeting starts at 2 o'clock. So that's the times and the place, and again, the gates will open at 9:15. I think they're going to change the parking up a little bit, I heard.
It switches around every year. Last year, everything was in the south. The Lake Hampton Invitational this year, all the school buses parked in the north parking lot. But the other, I think the spectators could park maybe either way, but most of them in the south parking lot. But they had to enter the north tunnel. They don't cross across the track, go to the north tunnel.
Yeah, it says additional Oaklawn will revert to having the buses park in the north parking lot located across from the First Baptist Church. Teams and spectators will use the north gate fence entry as it is done previously. So that's kind of the word we got. That's from Nick Lasker. So he sent that out on that end of it. So that's kind of our state meet, how that's going to fall and how that's going to happen on that day.
Speaking of websites, you can go to the Arkansas Activities Association website and go to sports, go to cross country, and you'll find, really for the state cross country meet, go to postseason, and you will find all the information. You'll have a course map, you'll have a time schedule that you just read, so people can find that. And that's the the website is ahsaa.org. That's the Arkansas Activities Association website.
Again, just for down the road, looking on down the road, the NCAA South Central Cross Country meet will be held at the University of Arkansas on Friday the 14th. I do not have a time when that begins, but if you want to see the South Central Cross Country Regional, that will be at the University of Arkansas on the 14th. It's going to indoor. The collegiately, the Arkansas Invitational is going to be on Friday the 16th, and the Arkansas High School Invitational will be on Saturday the 17th. Then I think the state high school meet this year is going to be like January the 24th or something.
Yes,
it's the only time that they were able to do it. It's going to be
January
early.
24th.
Yeah, it's going
real
to be
early.
So, that training we talked about earlier, you're going to bump right into it pretty quick. The Razorback Invitational indoor will be held, Arkansas Razorback Invitational, Friday the 30th and Saturday, January the 31st into January. The Woo Pig Classic, that's a new one that they've got, will be Saturday, February the 7th. And then the Tyson Invitational is always a good meet. There's a lot of schools, Oregons, and those people roll in usually. That'll be February the 13th and 14th. And then the Arkansas qualifiers, they're trying to get hit the standards to make it to the national meet. They'll do that on Friday, February the 20th. And then it goes on and talks about the spring outdoor and that. But the NCAA National Championship will be indoors at the University of Arkansas, March like 13th, 14th, right in that area. Right. So a lot of track coming. Cross country, we're getting down to conference meets coming up right now. The state meets coming, and then outdoor will be here. So we're moving. Track season's coming, but cross country's in full bloom right now.
I mentioned all those conference championships. Some of them junior high championships. Some of the conference championships this week and next week is when they all are. And then I did mention the GAC conference championship. That's
at Monticello, Arkansas.
At Monticello. So you got UAM, SAU, Henderson,
Harding,
Ouachita, Harding,
I think
Tech.
Yeah.
The Arkansas schools, 6 Oklahoma schools. Most of them have, I think all of them have women's, and most of them have men's now. So that'll be big down at UAM. Sorry, I don't have the exact time schedule at UAM. You can probably get on the GAC website,
and find
Great American Conference, and find out the time schedule, our UAM time schedule.
Well, we want to thank you for your time listening to us. Again, we want to thank Tommy Howard, financial advisor out of Little Rock with Edward Jones.
Steve Qualls at formerly Locker Room Design Lab.
And also the Arkansas Track Coaches Association. And we hopefully will be back sooner than later on this, right before the state meet, have another podcast. But we do thank y'all for listening to us, and we appreciate that. And Carl, look forward. And Carl, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. I made it another year.
There we go.
Well,
this is Don Pierce and Carl Kuntz signing off for Track is Our Field / Cross Country podcast number 4.
Thank you. Until next time.